There are three types of macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Today we're going to talk about fats. There's good fats versus bad fats. So good fats would be known as your essential fatty acids, and then the bad fats would be your trans fats. So I'm going to explain a little bit about each of those. So obviously with the term essential fatty acids, it means it's essential for our diet, and our body can't produce it. Our body can't produce all the fats that we need, so we have to consume it through our diet. So it's making sure that you've got those educated choices though, to make sure you choose the good fats, the essential fats, as opposed to the bad ones. And I'll go through those as we talk about this. So to make an understand, the fats are really important, but it's not trying to go overboard on the fats, because fats, 1 gram of fat contains 9 calories, as opposed to proteins and carbohydrates. 1 gram of protein or carbohydrates contains 4 calories. So as you see, 4 calories compared to 9 calories, the fats are a lot more calorific. So we don't want to diet too high in fat. Number 1, good fats. So we've got monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. So monounsaturated fats would be things like avocados, stuff like that, nuts. And then you've got polyunsaturated would be salmon, mackerel, foods like that. And these mono and polyunsaturated fats can help with reducing, like lowering blood pressure, reducing the cholesterol in the blood as well, and help with coronary artery disease and sort of heart health as well. So it's very important to increase these foods in our diet. What I'm going to do is create a list of poly and monounsaturated foods. Like, I'll create a list of good fats, and then I'll also create a list of bad fats, so then that way you know what to try and avoid, and which they're pretty obvious, but the good fats is the ones that we need to know that we want to eat. Like, we know about salmon. You've probably heard of omega-3. Omega-3 is a type of polyunsaturated fat, so an essential fatty acid, which our body, like I mentioned before, can't produce these fats, so it needs to come from our food sources, which is the polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, our essential fatty acids. And so salmon and sardines, nuts, all things like that are good sources of this. I'll give you a list of all the ones that you should be having. Number 2, we've got bad fats, so trans fats or trans fatty acids. So first of all though, I want to talk about saturated fats. Like in the past, saturated fats have had sort of a bad kind of rap really. Whereas actually with recent studies show, like I think Harvard University's studies have showed that saturated fats aren't as bad as they once thought that they were. So don't be too scared of those, but they're not exactly the best fats you could have, like we mentioned about with the previous ones with salmon and things like that. We know that they're healthy for us. So so saturated fats aren't as bad as you thought. Then I want to talk about trans fats, or trans fatty acids. So trans fats for short, it basically is foods like donuts, pastries, you've got pies, there's cakes, biscuits, chocolates. It's hydrogenated vegetable. It's the worst fat that you can get. It's going to cause all sorts of problems. It's associated with bad heart health, obviously, as opposed to the good fats. It's going to block up your arteries. It's going to create, it's just horrible stuff. It's going to it's going to create, like, with have an effect on diabetes, things like that. Obviously make you overweight, which leads on to poor heart health as well. So it's really best to try and avoid these foods. I mean, we're all only human and we like to enjoy the odd little bit, but really try and eliminate as much as possible from your diet. If you can get rid of it altogether, perfect. If you're going to have it, just have it in small doses. But yeah, try and avoid that as much as possible. So hopefully that's helped clarify, like talking about with good fats versus bad fats. Like I said, not all fats are created equal. So good fats are really good for you and they're vital for your body. They help with heart health, they help with reducing cholesterol, they help with blood pressure, and they're vital for like vital organs and that in the body, that they need these good fats to help survive and help thrive. So make sure you include good fats in your diet. Don't eliminate them. Keep the good fats in, the essential fatty acids, but try and reduce or completely cut out the bad fats, the trans fats, and reduce down on the saturated fats, but try and pick the better options. Like I said, I'm going to create a good fat list and I'm going to create a bad fat list, so you know what to avoid, and then you know what you could possibly have in moderation, and you know what you need, that your body needs to help thrive. Okay,